www.pentatonics. No, no, sorry, that's not.
Sorry
it
about that.
That's the other band you're in.
Sorry,
Yeah.
You're right here at Nena's VoxBox.
Greetings. This is New York Voices, and we're here in Cologne, getting ready to perform the next couple of days, starting our 30th year together. So that's kind of, we can't quite figure out how that happened. It's quite it does not feel like 30 years. Time flies. New York Voices has been together for obviously 30 years, been doing a lot of different styles over the years, kind of jazz-based, usually with rhythm section, a little bit of a cappella, influenced by everything from Brazilian jazz to some pop music of our favorites of our youth, from Stevie Wonder and Chicago and all those kind of things. A lot of some original music, and
we perform in various settings with rhythm section and big band and orchestras, and as Darmon mentioned, a cappella. So we're kind of this morphing vocal group that has lasted for 30 years, doing, I think, the wonderful things that have come our way. And I think we're still met by some of those challenges, and continue to grow with the music that either comes through us or is presented to us.
Yeah, I mean, we sort of treat them as two different entities. We love doing both, but the energy of a rhythm section that drives more of the vocal jazz literature has a slightly different energy than the a cappella world. We're fascinated by how huge a cappella has become lately. It's really, really exciting to see that happen around the world.
And we like participating in that too.
Yeah.
But the primary focus when we first started was to combine instrumental and vocal jazz and not have them so far apart on these separate islands, but to actually bridge them. And I think we still do that while we embrace this a cappella surge.
Yeah.
I think we've always thought of ourselves as more vocal jazz can be somewhat real blended and,
What do you mean?
very sweet, and and we try to think of ourselves almost like a horn section in a big band. That's the sound. It's a slightly more forward, just kind of handing it over kind of a sound. We certainly do. We're always thinking about blend and matching each other's sounds and all that stuff. But we try to think of ourselves maybe aggressive is not the best word, but it's somewhere in there. It's a little more raw, a little more in the tradition of groups like Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross, and the people that there was a real urgency and a real fire there, as opposed to necessarily. I mean, we love it all, but I think we're trying to go for something that has a little more character.
Yeah, I mean, and that is the thing. We really like the individual character of the voices of the four of us, and each one of them offers something to, what you would say is either the wall of sound or even the pot of soup, and we really like those spikes in the sound or those colors, and so I think we're always trying to find the balance of that, but I think that's what kind of makes us unique, is that is really running at the forefront of perhaps the design of the sound, allowing us to be who we are organically, as opposed to saying we have to morph into something that is more of a machine.
And one on a sound truly does give you those 4 saxophones or 5 saxophones at the front of the big band. And every song hopefully has its own sound as well, because we really don't try to put our sound on the song, but we try to let the music dictate what our sound should be.
Working with the Count Basie Orchestra was an important one for us, in that it really helped us refine our understanding of a swing feel.
Yeah.
Because we felt like we had a good swing feel, and then working with them, really, you see a very specific, really intense swing feel that
Cadillac of swing.
Learned a lot. I mean, interesting highlights. Like I remember very distinctly playing with Ray Brown in Finland many years ago, and just kind of sort of being in a daze, like, wow, we're really doing this. There's been a number of things like that.
Bobby McFerrin, I think, elevates you to a different place vocally than you would ever be without him.
We played the North Sea Festival years ago, and he was standing off stage watching us, and we were like, do you want to do something together? And we were all, a lot younger and really naive, and and he came out and we did Stolen Moments with him doing his muted trumpet thing, and you're trying to act really cool, like, yeah, this happens all the time, and and it was a big crowd, and I'll never forget that. That was a big moment in time.
The day that I'm sort of not curious about learning or listening would be perhaps the day to retire.
Or to start that restaurant.
Start that pub.
Yeah, Paquito de Rivera, Claudio Rodici, all these people there are instrumental and musical mentors.
Yes.
Too, in the world, and
Yvonne. Did you
Yvonne.
mention? Yes, Yvonne Leans.
Yes, we
crazy.
wouldn't. I don't think we would be who we are, moving in whatever direction we're moving in, without these influences.
Because they help sort of authenticate our foundation. They just keep sort of informing us that there's still deeper things that we could be learning in the layers of that particular genre, be it Brazilian or Afro-Cuban or swing or anything, that you start to realize that, like, sometimes you've been only singing on the surface of a particular style until you work with these people and you go, oh, right? So I think that we really treasure that kind of education.
And actually, we're going to be performing with the Swingles, which is quite fun. Yeah,
Really?
they're a blast, and
They're awesome.
we do some quite interesting collaborative things with them too.
They're not very nice people, but they're very good musicians.
Yeah, they're super
I
sweet.
think Toby Hook and the choir.
Yeah,
we love Toby.
We love Toby.
He
Yeah,
sat in with us in Asia in August.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
it's fabulous.
We've been enjoying these a cappella festivals. It's
Yeah, we've kind of gone in like,
very nice.
really? You want us to do this?
One of the things we've done in some of those settings, you mentioned Toby or Kevin Fox in the Swingles, we will sometimes, like when we work with the Swingles, we will, in addition to doing some songs with the entire Swingles, we will also pull Kevin and Ed, their vocal, percussion, and bass vocalists out and basically turn us into a sextet, an a cappella sextet, and it's really quite blast. And sometimes we can actually even take songs that we normally do with our rhythm section, just go, okay, Kevin, Ed, 1, 2,
'Cause they're
here
that
we go,
good.
here we go.
They're
and,
that good.
And we're off, so it's fun.
Sting.
Yeah. We've never met. No.
That would be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Gosh,
there's
there's
so
too many to come up with off the top of
Okay.
my head, to be honest. Yeah.
I always say, being in a group like this, it's like husbands and wives and parents and children and brothers and sisters all rolled up into a big
Cousins.
weird ball, and on any given day, somebody kind of takes responsibility for this, and somebody kind of takes Darmon is the musical director, and certainly,
It leads us in so many ways.
yeah, so that definitely is the case. But I think we all, everybody kind of takes on different aspects of trying to keep this thing going, and so it just depends. Kim developed our camps, that we do.
Peter teaches us all the choreography.
And I'm responsible for the dance moves. Yeah. So
Lauren takes care of all of our social media and stuff.
I'm
So
a
we all
spiritual
have
guru.
I write the set lists, so
And picks the restaurant.
and I figure out what the best food is after the concert.
Yeah.
So yes.
Oh, that.
Yeah,
Kim can be tough. She's made
Yeah,
people.
I have a hard line.
but it all
with-
comes from positive
But with,
spirit.
yeah,
Yeah.
and with positive, I hope,
It's-
and good
it's-
constructive criticism, and helping them to raise the bar in a very short period of time. It's like when we teach, we don't, well, you have the full-time job at Berkeley, but when any of us are involved with another group, we maybe have 30 minutes with them. And that's a very, very precious 30 minutes. So to get something magical to happen in 30 minutes, everyone has to truly be focused, concentrated, and ready to go. So that's where I start, and then try to get them to another place in a short period of time. On a beach.
Reading a book.
Yeah,
I don't think I've read a book in years.
I
Yeah.
brought one actually.
I brought one too.
Oh, wow.
I brought a book.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. I mean, we would not. We've always been taking it a year at a time. It's the nature of this business. The business, the world of music and opportunities. They just change too much for you to even guess. I mean, so when we first started, we were just kind of performing with our rhythm section. If you'd told us at one point we'd be out touring with symphonies, we would have gone, really? Wow, I never would
Who's
have thought
gonna
of
write
that.
that book?
Right, or that we'd be doing
Ew.
big band tours. The different, or that we would have worked specifically with some of the things that have been mentioned, Bob Mintzer and Ivan Lins and Paquito. Those are all just things that evolved as you just kind of keep throwing the net out there and exploring things, or you things cross-pollinate. You meet an artist in an event, and you start talking, and next thing you know, you're making plans, and you just it's just fascinating how it works. It's never really predetermined.
The universe has governed a lot of what we've done.
Yeah.
I want to play Prince Albert Hall in England. I want to do one of those big venues in England, and
That'd be nice.
I'd love to
That'd be
play
fun.
with the London Symphony. You ask about who do you want to play with.
Yeah.
Like these have been untouchables, and after 30 years, I think, and I think our music is good enough that it would be so great to do something like that.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Yeah.
Greetings to the fans out there.
Hello
Hope to
out
see you
there.
sometime soon. Come to our website and see what we're up to, and our Facebook page, all that kind of stuff.
www.pentatonics. No, no, sorry, that's not
Sorry
it.
about that.
That's the other band you're in.
Sorry,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, they need a new bass, from what I understand.
Yeah, that's
so,
true. That's true. Yeah.
So anyway,
I can be a bass.
yeah.
Call me.
We can.
Oh my God.
We hope we get to see you sometime in the future in various parts of the world. So.
Yeah, come sing with us at our camp
Yeah.
in the United States.
Yeah.
You're right here at Nena's VoxBox.
You know something we don't know?
Really?
Come on, Angel.
Come on, Nena.
Sorry for making dreams. Didn't have this
Oh
much.
man.
Wait, are we disappointed all of a sudden?
Well,